All right, guys, welcome to the hot seat. I'm your host, CJ of Cooking with CJ fame. Today, we welcome a great guest. I'm truly excited. We got Phil from Daddy Cooks in the house. I am freaking pumped. And if you're not pumped in the chat, get out of here. I don't need you. We want everybody excited and pumped up for this. This is going to be a good time. I can't wait. I've been following this guy since I was 2 years old or, a year ago. So we're excited to get going. Today, we are missing one of our own co-hosts, Kent from Daddy Dutch BBQ. He is running a little late. I guess Little Daddy Dutch had a football game. So I understand completely. If it's for football, I'll give him the excuse and he won't be fired. All right. So if you have questions, Mrs. CJ's jumping on the chat and she's going to write your questions down. So make sure you put at Cooking with CJ on there so we can see, and do it capital letters if you could. Let's make it easy as possible. All right. Moderators in the chat already. We got Kris, Hobo Nichol BBQ. Got Scott from In for the Grill. I think I saw Kirby in there. Our other Jay's in there, I think, too. So we got all our people covered. Phil, welcome, brother.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I was just sitting here quiet till you finished with the introductions.
All right, so ready and go. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's. Seriously, before we even get started, I just wanted to say thank you for your service. I know you're an Army vet. I know you still do the dang thing out in the Middle East. I really, from my heart, and I know everybody in the chat, appreciate you, brother. So
thank you,
man. You're doing good things, man. So let's go ahead and get started. Start with an easy question for you. Where are you from, Phil?
I'm from all over. My father was a military man. He was in the Air Force. So I was born in a small place called Chanute Air Force Base in Rantoul, Illinois. Okay, then from there, I went through kindergarten, first, second, third grade in Okinawa, Japan, Kadena Air Force Base. And then from there, he went to Wordsmith Air Force Base in Michigan, retired. So from fifth grade until adulthood, he settled down in Chicago, and I was raised in Chicago. So I claim Chicago as home. So that's where I'm from.
All right. That is probably like the longest answer anybody has given on where you're from, and I love it. So let's just keep those answers going. We're going to go all night long. It's going to be awesome. All right, next one. I think a lot of people probably know the answer to this because they've watched you over the years, but family life, tell me about your spouse, how many kids, dog, chinchilla, whatever.
Family life. I have a beautiful wife by the name of Kimberly. She's my high school sweetheart. So, yeah, we've been married since we were 19. Actually, we got married at 19, and I still got my training wife. I haven't had to train her.
Like 11 years, right?
Yeah, right. 4 beautiful girls, Octavia, Jessica, Tashayla, and Lanicia, not in that order. And no pets. I feel that no one should live in my house that's not producing something other than barks. And you're either gonna clean something, cook something, or bring home good grades. You ain't just gonna hang out and make noise.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right, cool. Sorry, I just got a little quiet there. All right, much as you can give us regarding your job, what do you do besides cooking YouTube shows? All right,
let's lead up to this. After 23 years of military service, United States Army Airborne Ranger Infantry, 4-time combat veteran. A lot of people don't know this about me, but this is a hot seat. I'm a veteran of Operation Just Cause, Operation Desert Shield. Well, Just Cause was in Panama. Remember those guys that jumped in from the 82nd and went in and got Noriega with the Delta guys? That was us. That was
right on. That was you.
Then, after that, it was Desert Shield, Desert Storm. After Desert Shield, Desert Storm, had a lull, did some Army stuff, and then Urgent Fury happened. I'm sorry. Endurance, not Urgent Fury. I wasn't in the Army yet. Urgent Fury was that Grenada thing. I meant to say Enduring Freedom, which was Afghanistan. I was part of that. And then right after that, we went into Afghanistan. I mean, we went into Iraq during Iraqi Freedom and knocked that out.
Knocked that out. I love it.
And then after that, I, did some other Army stuff, and then I retired. So 4 wars. I'm very proud of the fact that I never lost a man weapon or a piece of equipment. We did lose some people in our company, but I never lost a man of mine. And that's it, man. Then the rest of it is history. That was funny as this. This is funny. The people that know me, they'll be like, dude, you cooking? All that shit you done?
That's awesome.
And you're cooking?
You gotta do something to relax the bag, right?
I know, right?
That's awesome, man.
But then after all of that, well, I haven't answered the question yet.
I was gonna say, I feel like we're missing something, but you took a pause.
So that was the background. After all of that, that experience led me to work. Okay, I'm building. Prior to this job, because I'm a contractor now. Prior to this job, I was a contractor working in Kuwait, where we were training people prior to going into Iraq. All right, CQB, close quarter combat, and various things. And then that contract, I got promoted to a level where I got moved to the Kyrgyz Republic, same company, Kyrgyzstan. And I was teaching a secret briefing and a non-secret briefing, actually for General Petraeus. It was his tactical directives briefing. So anyone that was going into Afghanistan, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and NATO, our NATO alliance, if they went into Afghanistan, they listened to me or my boss's voice for this 2-hour briefing.
Wow.
Then Petraeus got in that trouble, and then it changed over to General Allen, the Marine, and then it was General Allen's tactical directives briefing. After that job petered out, the contract died. I ended up moving to, now I got to be careful now, to where I'm working now. It's still parts unknown, different country, but it's not an instructing position, not a training position. Now this is a security position where we're keeping people safe at the facility that we're responsible for.
In parts unknown.
In parts unknown.
That's awesome. So real quick, when you go back, I know you said you got pushed out a little bit, so that's great that you get to spend some more time at home. But what are you gonna do as far as the cooking goes over there?
You talking about when I get back to parts unknown?
Yeah, when you get back over there.
Okay. Last rotation. Okay, I got promoted. Okay, so I moved from one position to a higher position. I have roughly 100 people working for me. So before that promotion, I had more time to do some cooking. It was a little bit more rough because of having to get ingredients and cooking in a small room and blah, blah, blah. Last rotation, I did 4 videos that I filmed, but I haven't edited. I didn't have time. So next rotation, I'm just going to use those as filler. I'll just edit those and release them slowly.
Right on.
So if I can cook, I'll add to that buffer. But if I can't, then I can edit those. And if I'm gone for 3 or 4 months, at a minimum, I can at least release 1 per month. And now that I have RBOP, shameless plug, now that I got RBOP up and running, I can do live feeds, and then we can talk about how to make videos and that type of thing. So I'm still going to be on. I'm just going to have to work it. It's kind of hard when I'm over there. Right.
And obviously timing's a little off too. You're halfway across the world. I'm sure that plays a little bit into it.
Well, here's my fix for that. I work the night shift intentionally. So when it's nighttime there, it's daytime here.
Right.
I do that for 3 reasons. 1, no jet lag. When I come home, I'm already on the right time. 2, it's hot as balls over there, but it's cooler at night. And 3, since it's a night shift, I go to work on Monday, I get off duty on Tuesday. It seems kind of faster. It's not, but it just feels that way.
Right. So someone asked in the chat, how long is your rotation?
We're on a 105-35 rotation, but that's flexible to a degree. Right. So pretty much I'm gone for 3 months. I come home for 1, but that can be extended or loosened. Like in this case, I'm home for 2. So it's not etched in stone, but it's pretty much gone for 3, home for 1.
Right on. Well, man, I just still gotta tell you, man, I appreciate it, dude. That's heavy duty, man. Heavy duty.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we got a little break here. I want to go through everybody in the chat, man. We're up to 42 viewers. We're shooting for 61 today. Hobo, let me know what the record was. I thought it was 60, so we're talking about beating that record today. So let me just go through the people I see in the chat. If I've missed anybody, I'll catch you on the next round. But we got a lot to talk about here. So I see AB's in the house. Steve from Not Another Cooking Show's in the house. 9 million was not the record, Hobo. Christy's Cooking Channel, Eye Candy, Suburban Barbecue, Miss J, or Road to Miss J, or Road to Good Cooking, Miss J. Pickles Barbecue, Barbecue Pit, dude. Lyle from No Hippie Barbecue, he's awake, so right on. I'm excited for you to be here. Let's see here. Bad Beast Barbecue, Daryl. Daryl is next week's guest, so make sure you guys all tune in for that one too. Robert Roy, I just saw you jump in. Joe, who's JKC56. Let's see. CLE Random's on there. Chef Johnny's in the house. Southern Smoke Boss, Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue, Cooking with James, Rusty Barbecue, Smoky Goodness, Easy Bake Barbecue, and Mike from Everyday Barbecue. And I think that's it for now.
Nice. If I may, I want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. I must be liked.
People
but thanks for coming.
Why, man. It's just cool. But we're gonna use that to our advantage. All right, brother. You know, the one person I haven't seen yet is Mega Fred, so we'll hold off on his question until we can. You know, I like to ask his lifetime question in there. So, and real quick before the next question, can you just say something and show off that shirt real quick? Because
y'all know who I am. My girls call me Daddy, but you can call me Awesome.
You can call me Awesome. That's awesome, man. All right, let's get into you know what? Pickles just put something on there. If you're not subbed to Phil, which I highly doubt that you're not, you know, please go click on the link below. If you're not subbed to me, you're a guest, a friend of Phil's, freaking sub to me. And everybody in the chat, get to know each other and chat and sub to everybody. All right, so let's get going with the next round of questions. Well,
all right.
And you know what? Damn it, James just screwed everything up. James from Amen Clayman, how you doing, brother? Welcome. All right, no more acknowledging for this minute. All right. Oh, I hear that familiar sound.
You know what I'm doing.
All right, guys, get the chat up, get the cheers in the chat out there. Phil's rocking a little Jameson, it looks like.
That's right.
I got a little Johnny Blue out there for our guests tonight. So we're gonna have a good time. All right. Phil, how did you get started on YouTube, brother?
Oh, that's a good one. All right. I first got on YouTube because I was like, Phil, how the hell do they make YouTube videos? I was curious. I had no idea. So this was years ago. My wife, Kim, she was having surgery. Well, our very first video was my girls playing on the Wii. We got a brand new Wii. We was all getting stupid freaking drunk. And I just started filming it. I had my niece and my sister-in-law from New York and my brother-in-law who, anyway, he was over at the house. And that was my first video. And then after that, I think I was calling it the Chronicles of Riddick or the Riddick Chronicles or some shit. And my wife was in the hospital. I was joking on her hard too, just taking advantage of the drugs she was on. Anyway, and I was doing that. From there, I was in Kuwait and I was just kind of filming myself doing this and doing that, going places, cool things, restaurants and stuff like that. And then a group of guys, one of which we called Diddy. I don't know why we called him Diddy. They would cook And, you know, I was cooking on my own. I wasn't with the group. And I had a friend of mine that always come over, hey, man, what you cook? What you cook? And, you know, fix him a plate and all that stuff. And then he's like, man, you need to link up with these guys, man, because they cook like on Sunday. I'm like, all right. So I swung by there and they was doing all right. But, you know, I busted out a freaking, check this out, an ostrich egg quiche. I wish I would have filmed it, but I wasn't filming back in those days. And they loved that shit, right? And then I started cooking things, and then now people are knocking on my door. Hey man, what you cook? Hey man, what you cook? So my very first cooking video was I think I did egg foo young. It was a shrimp egg foo young. And if you find that video, guys, I'm in this little bitty hooch in the middle of the desert on this dirty ass hot plate, cooking with one hand because I had the camera in the other one. But it turned out fantastic.
All right, let me interrupt you. Yeah. Any moderators out there that can find that video, put the link in the chat. All right.
It's such a crappy video, but it's awesome. Anyway, from there, I left Kuwait. Well, in Kuwait, we had to drive like an hour and a half to get to Kuwait City because we were living in a camp in the middle of the desert. Okay. And the heat in Kuwait, it's so hot that if you do drive the hour and a half to Kuwait City to pick up groceries, ingredients, meat, fish, and stuff like that, you have to take a cooler to put the stuff in because just the intensity of the heat through the window of the car could spoil your meat. It's crazy freaking hot over there.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah. So, you know, because you're in a car for an hour and a half plus the heat and all that stuff. Anyway, so I ended up leaving that job. I got a double promotion because I went from teaching to IT. I was a network systems analyst for a while. Yeah, I got skills. Anyway, and then from there, I went back to the training side. I got a double promotion to go to the Kyrgyz Republic. And went there. I was the assistant country lead, but we were free. We were still deployed, but we were in a country. Kuwait's right next to Iraq, so the restrictions were really high. But now I'm in the Kyrgyz Republic. Dude, we're driving in a freaking corporate paid Lexus. We're staying in an apartment. It wasn't a penthouse, but it was damn close.
Right on.
And, you know, once we learned where because you had you had regular grocery stores, but then you also had the meat bazaar. You also had the vegetable bazaar. And then you had it's not a swap meet, but it was a Connex city. All the stores were made out of Connexes, stacked, and it's amazing. I wish you guys could have seen it. But you're on the economy in the Kyrgyz Republic. Now, let me get you oriented here. You have the Kyrgyz Republic. Right on top of that, you have Kazakhstan. On top of that, you got like Mongolia. To your right, you got China. I'm talking about that part of the world. Okay. Wow. And dude, freaking the vegetables, the produce they pulled it right out of the ground from the goat shit. That type of, man, that's the best tasting. I've tasted the best tomatoes of my life in that country. It used to be Georgia, United States, Georgia. Right. But man, when you can pull a freaking watermelon out of the antelope turd, man, wash that thing off. That shit's good.
At least you take time to wash it off, man.
That's right.
Oh my god.
But since we had that freedom, then I started cooking more, and then I started getting a following. People were like, hey man, I like what you did, but my channel started growing a little bit. If you guys see those videos, man, look at I'm trying not to push my shit, but the only way you'll understand it is if you see it.
Push it all you want, man. Jeez.
We did I did Scotch eggs. And in that country, they didn't do pork sausage. Dilemma. Right, so we had to make our own sausage first and then make the Scotch eggs out of it. It was a great video. I was cussing a little bit in those videos back in the day, but dude, that was cooking. But anyway, the channel started getting bigger, and then I started doing it more, and I got home and I was doing it. And being as competitive as I am, I started looking around. I started looking at T-Roy. I started looking at Russ Jones and Smoky Ribs. I started looking at there used to be what was his name? Big Meat Sunday. I think his name was can't think of his name. Anyway, these guys' videos were like amazing. You know, I'm like, they got great video, great audio, and my stuff's like handheld. I was like, that's bullshit. So then I started learning, what can I do to make it look better? What can I do to make it sound better? I need to stabilize my camera. I need to start editing. I need to upgrade. I got to separate my audio and video, and then I need to put it together and post. I just started learning. And if you look at my older videos compared to what I'm doing now, it's night and day. It's night and day.
I'm sure. All right. I see Mega Fred's in the chat.
Mr. Mega Fred. I always wanted to do that.
Just want to do, this every time. Mega Fred's in the house.
No.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask his question. Mega Fred's in one of them lifers, so he gets his own.
Wait, hold on. Josie says she's glad I watched her turn off of the produce.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's just flavor, man. It's just flavor. All right, so Mega Fred's question: what is your favorite music, bands, whatever?
Oh my goodness, favorite music. I'm a oldie but goodie Motown type of dude, but I like all music to a degree. I don't like all of everything, but I like some of everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Definitely. Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places, freaking AC/DC, Back in Black, George Strait, and then Sam Cooke and Gladys Knight, The Temptations. I'm all over the place when it comes to music. What's his name? Yngwie Malmsteen. I like all kinds of music. I just either like it or I don't. I don't have a certain genre that I stick with. If I hear a song, I like it. All-time favorites, Hotel California from the Eagles, Walk This Way from Aerosmith, and then Run DMC's Walk This Way. I like all kinds of music. I like some country. I like some rock and roll. I like freaking heavy metal, some of it. I like a little bit of everything, but not all of everything, if that makes sense. Right
on. Yeah. I'm with you completely. I'm the same way. I love all music, so that's awesome, man. All right. I'm going to do a quick shout out to everybody who showed up in the chat. There's been a lot more people. We're at 52.
52, dog.
52 in the house. We're getting there. All right. So we got Real Joey B's in the house, chilling and grilling with Rob D. I can't pronounce that one. Sorry, Mona. Mega Fred, obviously. Phil and Florence is in the house. Piff's in the house. Josh and Babe, Tom Horseman, Mel Simple Meals, Diamond Power Productions, Grill Top Experience, my boo from the East Coast, Red from Red's Barbecue and Pizzeria, Rip and Tip Outdoors, Gary from Food Porn Network, and the Faith Squad is in the house. And Bass Finder 68. I just saw you jump up there. You got questions over there for me?
What's his favorite rap song?
What's your favorite rap song, Phil?
My favorite rap song. I just called it. It would have to be Walk This Way with Run DMC and Aerosmith. Yeah.
Totally fair.
Totally fair. Mrs. CJ agrees with you.
Here's the pickle juice for the Jameson.
Where's the pickle juice for the Jameson for the pickleback shot?
Well, see, the pickleback is when you're taking it easy, and I'm taking it to the head, man. This a big boy. This a big boy channel.
I'm sure. I'm waiting for Ray Mack to show up. I'm sure he's gonna have some pickleback for you.
I know, right?
It is.
Kirby wants him to know that he got his business cards.
Kirby wants you to know that he got his business cards.
Nice. Hey, pro tip.
And
everyone in here, there is no one that is going to promote you better than you. Damn. I spent I spent a day with Ray Mack and AB. You can ask them both. We drove around for a bit to get things situated. So from here, my house, we drove to Fort Bragg to the Class 6, which is a liquor store. From the Class 6, just walking around, I think I gave out like 3 business cards just standing there in the freaking line, just bringing up the conversation. We and them were talking, and somebody kind of got in our conversation. Oh, you guys do YouTube? Yeah, man, I'm glad you asked. Do you cook much? I can help you with that. Business card. Okay. From there, we went to Sam's because we fried fish, so we picked up a bunch of catfish, tilapia, and before that, I went to show AB these big. They're like 2.5 inch, 3 inch freaking tomahawk steaks. And he's like, wow, you know. And then there was an older gentleman and his wife were standing there looking at the steaks and looking at me. And the guy kind of looked at me. I said, well, you cooking today? You're just setting them up. You cooking today? He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I said, man, you don't know what to do with that meat. He's like, well, I'm not sure. I said, I can help you with that. Pow! Business card.
Business card. I'm fresh out.
Yeah, man. You got it. It's a lot easier to whip out a business card than it is to say, hey, I got a YouTube channel, write this down, or let me show you on my phone, or look this up. It's just easier. Pow, business card. Spend $20, get 1,500 cards. That's 1,500 opportunities.
Yeah, sure. Well, I have them too. Mr. CJ got me some of them built up for me. Everywhere I go, even when I'm paying the bill at a restaurant, I leave it with the credit card slip.
Yeah.
At the grocery store, every time I have a bunch of meat going down the thing, they're asking me what I'm doing this weekend. Well, let me show you. See next week.
There you go. There you go.
So that is definitely a pro tip right there.
Mm-hmm.
One more question over there.
If you were going to lay Steve down and make love to him, what would be your walk-up music?
All right. So I'm sure you didn't hear that.
But there's one other one too.
All right. So Red asked a very nice question. If you were going to lay me down and make sweet love to me, what would be your walk-in music?
If I were lay who down? Anybody down? Or you down specifically?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna lay CJ down, what would be my walk-in?
I'm pretty sure he's asking for a friend. I'm sure.
I got you. If I was gonna lay a woman down, what would be the walk-in music? She'd have to brace herself, man. You know, take a deep breath. I'm gonna come in on Atomic Dog. Bow wow wow. Yippee.
Well, there you go, Red. That is the first and probably last time we will ask that question. That's a lifetime question. If you were gonna bed me down, what would you listen to as you walk? Oh my God, that's horrible.
I like it.
Red, you got issues, son. All right, what's the last one?
Strangest thing Phil's ever cooked.
All right. Who's that from? Christy?
I don't know. That was like an hour ago.
All right, what's the strangest thing you've ever cooked, Phil?
The strangest thing I've ever cooked. Ooh. The strangest thing I ever cooked would have, and I got a video on it. I did hog head cheese with a real hog head. Eyeballs, tongue, the whole freaking thing.
Was it tasty?
It was delicious.
Turned out well.
It was delicious. Man, it was in the pot like the tongue was out. It turned out great now. It did.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You good?
Red is cut off.
Red is cut off. Is that the one? Have you ever drank? Okay. Have you?
Wait. Horse milk.
This
is funny. I just saw that question.
That's gross.
Horse milk is one of the national beverages of the Kyrgyz Republic. Believe it or not. And on the corners, they have a stand on ice. There's a fermented horse milk. I can't remember the name of it. I never tried it. I started to. I didn't have the balls. Anyway, I forget the name of it, but it's a fermented horse milk, and it's supposed to have some alcoholic properties. I never tried it though. So no, the answer to the question is I've never drank it, but it is a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah, I've seen it on Bizarre Foods or something on the Travel Channel.
Yeah.
All right, guys, keep putting your questions in the chat, and Miss CJ's writing them down. So James, she's got yours. We'll come back to it. All right. And Red served in Kazakhstan, where
Kazakhstan.
Croat's from.
All right, that's cool. Hey, Red.
So he's familiar with sucking on a cow's tit or a horse's tit, I guess.
Just make sure it's a female. If it ain't a tit.
Yeah, you never know with them. And then Hobo just took it to the left field. Hobo, that's the line. Donkey porn is the line, Hobo.
Hey, there's a place in the world for donkey porn. But only with midgets. Only with midgets.
Only with midgets. Check. Oh my God.
Fair enough too.
This is, hey, you bring a valid point to it. This thing's going long, so everybody just grab your comfy chair because I am 5 questions in and we're a half hour gone. So
hey,
just get ready, get your booze poured. We're gonna have a good time.
This is Phil. Right? There's nothing off limits.
I don't have anywhere to be. You don't have anywhere to be. Let's do the dang thing. All right. Get your horse milk. Everybody get your horse milk out. Cheers. Ugh, it's disgusting. Cheers. I'm going to get that taste out of my mouth. And someone's going to put, that's what she said. All right. How long have you had your channel there, Daddy Cooks?
Woo, I've had this channel, shit, man, I want to say about 6 years. 6 years. About 6 years. Well, I didn't start out cooking. I started out bullfrogging. Just see, I try not to cuss and shit. Anyway.
Cussing shit.
No, I started out experimenting, but I think I've been actively doing the cooking. I'll say maybe about 4 years, man. I've invested a little bit of time.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so obviously we know what your channel is about. We've been watching it for years, but tell us about your new channel. I'll let you plug it. Make sure.
Oh, nice.
We can get people to sub if they haven't subbed yet.
Nice. Well, it's not a new channel. It's just it's been dormant. I've reactivated it.
Okay.
If you go into RBOP, R-BOP, Riddick's Book of Philosophy, that's my everything channel. Okay. It started out with me bringing in some of your favorites. If you look at the older videos, the title would be a one-word title. Start out with some music. It's a talking head video. I was just sitting in parts unknown, just talking to the camera. But I would have guests. Russ Jones did look at my phone buzzing. Anyway, Russ Jones did an episode. I think it was matter of fact, it was Russ and Dan from come on, Dan Robertson from Smoky Goodness 2.0. Yeah. They did a audio segment. I had Juanello from I can't think of the name right now. It's Juanello. I can't remember the number. Different subjects. And if you look at those older videos, I'm buffering, I think.
No, you're good.
Okay, hold on. The other side's buffering. I'll just hit that. Anyway, if you look at those videos, you will see some of the people that you know that were did guest appearances, and we talked about video making subjects. And then I kind of slid off. I was helping a young lady who was working out. I was working out for a little while. And then I did a segment on drones. And I'm going to take that one in the direction of doing live feeds now. It would be easier for me to do talking head live feeds from parts unknown than cooking.
Right.
So instead of clogging up Daddy Cooks with a bunch of live feeds and non-food related stuff, I'm going to transfer that, how to make videos and conversations about that and learning from each other, to a whole different channel, because I want Daddy Cooks to be cooking. I want RBOP to be helping and learning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. If you're watching on the replay, I'll put the link down below. If any of my moderators would be so inclined, I have like 14 in the fucking chat. So can someone put his link in there for everybody? I mean, come on, guys. What do I pay you for? I'm not counting on Hobo to do it. He's probably 5 bourbons in right now. But the rest of you guys, Kirby's probably sober. Come on, guys. Let's do this. All right. So I know you've done a couple behind the scenes. There it is. Thanks a lot, Kirby. You've done a few behind the scenes, but what are you filming with? I know you have some good gear over there.
Oh man, I wish I would have thought about it. I would have brought it up here. Everything's downstairs, so I could easily set up in the kitchen.
Right.
I am running 2 Sony NEX5Ts. They're mirrorless cameras. They're not the highest end, but they're good. They cost me when they were brand new, they were about $500 a pop. But I got them both off of eBay. I got one for like $250, and I got the other for like $300.
Wow.
Both of those are on tripods. Now this is important. My B-roll camera, it's on a tripod, but it's on a tripod with a Z. I forget, it's a Z mount. So when I set it up on my counter, the Z mount, this is going to be weird. Look at my hand. The Z mount could go up, out, and down. So that's how I get my top down view. That Z mount cost me maybe $20.
Wow.
Just lean the tripod up. That's where you get that tasty view. Very inexpensively. I don't have no rails on top of the house and cameras dangling. It's a tripod with a Z mount pointing down, and the tripod sitting 2 legs on the counter because I got an island in my kitchen.
Right,
Two legs on the island, 1 leg in a chair behind it, lean forward, and then the Z mount points the camera straight down. Prep work. Done. So those 2 cameras. I have an old Kodak Playful. Kodak's gone. Maybe you can still get it. It's a small point and shoot. Push the button. It just films. It does 1080p. But what's significant about it, you probably get it for about $100 nowadays.
Right.
It has a microphone plug. Boom.
Nice.
It's got a mic plug in that little thing. So I got a little small rail rig mount type of thing that's screwed into. I got a light on one side and plug in a freaking Rode mic, one of those small Rode mics. That's my travel rig. And then I got my smartphone. So I'm running 4 cameras. My A-roll camera is in a big camera rig, man. I got a Zoom 4H or H4. My audio's connected to that. I got a wireless microphone receiver connected to that. I got a 10-inch monitor connected to that. All that's connected to that one little camera. It looks awesome. Didn't cost that much money, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you have it set up like at all times, or you kind of just push it to the side afterwards?
It's well, when I leave, it'll be sitting right back here,
right,
in my office. The small camera, the small mic, the light is portable. Those go in my suitcase. I got a little small travel tripod goes in my suitcase. Obviously, my cell phone goes with me on my suitcase. And I have another tripod already in parts unknown. So I'm running 2 cameras there. I run 4 cameras here.
Jeez Louise, man. And I noticed one of your daughters helped. Is she the only one that helps?
Well, she's the one I want to help because she's used to the way I do. All right. Well, okay. We're YouTubers here.
Right.
There's rules to filming. And I've learned this. I didn't go to school for it. I taught myself. I took 6 months in parts unknown, just reading, studying about lighting, studying about videography, food photography, audio. I just took it upon myself to do that. And I did that before I bought the equipment. So pro tip. Don't just go out and buy shit, folks. Learn how to use it, understand it before you invest your money. Because if you can't figure it out, and you buy this multi-mega gazillion dollar camera and you can't figure it out, all that money is going to go on a shelf and you're not going to never use it. Pro tip.
Makes sense.
Use what you can that is simple, easy, and then go from there. As you learn, then upgrade. As you improve, then upgrade. Don't go whole hog at the beginning because you might fail. Sucks to say that for new YouTubers, but everybody doesn't make it. Right. Start small, learn, understand, find your niche. Okay. And another pro tip, my niche is not cooking only because there's a shitload of cooking channels. Why do people look at Daddy Cooks? Because it's daddy and his daughters. My personality and my girls are just as important to my channel as the food is.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So find your niche. It's your cooking, but what can you do specifically to draw in an audience? All right. Now for CJ, it's his beard. For you guys, it could be something else.
I thought it was a hat. In my rugged good looks. I mean, seriously.
Your ruggedly handsome face.
Yep.
Man, I can hardly eat when I see you. In a good way.
In a good way. I'm glad you had to put that in there. In a good way. All right. So I see Meatheads join in. What's up, brother? I'm glad you can make it. Red had to put a comment in there that said he's his own tripod, and I don't think he means for camera. I think he's proud of himself.
That's what they used to call me.
And he said he's only wearing that. I sent him one of these hats, and he's only wearing that right now. So that boy has he's one I would fly across the country to spoon.
Hey, tell him just don't eat Cheetos, man. Don't eat Cheetos because your nuts will be orange. Next subject.
Next subject. All right. So we've gone over the new channel or the dormant channel. We've got I just saw a compliment to myself from Miss Josie, Miss J. I love you. Stop it. You're making this old guy blush.
You are a handsome man. I'm gonna read it. At Cooking with CJ, you handsome man, you are wearing that hat, my brother. Thank you, Josie.
We were supposed to hook up with her in Vegas. She was supposed to make me and Miss CJ dinner, and we didn't have an opportunity to do it. But we're in Vegas quite a bit, so
I'm jealous. Me and Kim are trying to get to. We're trying to get to Disney,
man. It's seriously my Disneyland. I love that place. So anyway, so we're talking about your channels. We talked about what you film with. I've noticed that you did a little behind the scenes. Tell me about that outdoor kitchen you set up. That thing is
the outdoor kitchen. Believe it or not, brand new. That thing would have cost about maybe $2-3 grand. Or something like that. My wife bought that. Kim bought the refrigerator portion. I want to say a year ago, if not more. And then she just waited. She waited. She's a shopping freaking connoisseur, man. She saw the sink portion and bought that, and then she had them. She was waiting on that grill. That grill is freaking awesome. It's not okay. It's not a 5-burner. It has 4 burners, and then the 5th burner is a searing station, and then the 6 burners on the very back, and that's a rotisserie infrared. Dude, even the knobs light the fuck up. Okay, did I cuss? Shit. Anyway,
that's awesome, man. I fell in love with that thing when you were filming it. And
dude, she got that thing. She waited till it was discontinued. That thing's like a almost $4,000 freaking kitchen, man. I think she might have got that. She got it for less than $1,500.
Jeez,
after everything was said and done. I love that thing. Man. It's got a couple of dents and dings. It's freaking beautiful. I got a lot of plans for it. Yeah, you will see a lot more of that kitchen, man. My wife, shout out to my wife, man. She does it. December 28th will be 33 years for us married. It hasn't all been it hasn't all been perfect, but dude, I can't see myself without her. This house she had built from the ground up. I am almost completely debt free because of my wife. I go away, I worry for nothing. I come back and just look at the progress, dude. If I'm one of the luckiest men in the world.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's great, dude. I can tell you even get a little emotional about it, man. That's awesome. If she was so inclined and wanted to say hi, invite her in. I saw you guys' couple challenge. She looked like she was terribly thrilled to be on camera.
She does not do that, but I'm trying to convince her for us to do another like family thing. I think we're the only ones that've done a whole family. Our husband and wife freaking what do you call it? What was it? It wasn't a chat. It was the tag. It turned into a family tag.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see if we can get us all there together. The next big thing, I already got a video already. I'm editing now, but we were challenged to do, I forget, it was LW something. I can't remember the name of the channel, but we were challenged to do a 2 times hot ramen thingy. You see them shits.
Yeah, I seen them.
So myself and maybe two of my daughters will be probably doing that. If I can't find them at the Asian market, I'll order them off of something on the internet, and I'll be blowing snot and eating them damn noodles, man. Yep, we'll do a challenge.
Right on. That'll be fun. If your daughters walk by and want to jump on and say hi, feel free. Bring the whole family in. I don't care. Your daughters seem like they're great people.
They are. They're like their father.
They have such fun with you guys. It's so funny. They have such good personalities. I love watching them when they're jumping on your thing. So it's so cool.
Thank you.
All right, man. Let's just kind of get into the editing of it. Tell us one thing that's the funniest thing that has happened while you're editing and that we didn't get to see on your videos.
Oh, funniest thing. Dude, actually, I talked about it during the video.
Nice.
I didn't show it, but I talked about it during the video. I was doing, I think it was, what did I shoot? I think it was, I think I called it inmate chicken, or it was beer butt chicken. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Beer can chicken. I called it something silly. But anyway, I didn't put a pan underneath the chicken. So while it's cooking and the coals are hot and chicken grease, dude, the grill caught on fire. I mean, that chicken grease caught fire. I was like, what the fuck? So and I have a bottom ash catching drawer. I can't talk. Stop it, Jameson.
Just pour another one. We'll get through this together.
Ash catching drawer underneath my my bigger grill. So I pulled that out, put the fire out. It didn't affect the chicken or anything. But then I came right back on the video and I explained it. Hey guys, you notice there's a pan here. There wasn't a pan before. Everything Daddy Cooks does isn't perfect. My shit caught on fire. I explained it. I didn't cuss, I don't think, blah, blah, blah. But that's about one of the most interesting, embarrassing things that happened. I'm filming and I'm chilling and I'm drinking. Next thing I know, I got a blaze under my damn chicken asses and shit. That ain't funny.
That's great, man. This is my favorite question because it usually kind of stumps people. But if Hollywood were to make a video or a movie about your channel and yourself, who would play you?
Samuel L. Jackson. I want to hear him say, the motherfucking chickens on the motherfucking grill.
All right. Well, I had Denzel and Will Smith, but I'm Sam Jackson's. I'm with you on that one.
They had to lighten him up a little bit and make sure he's wearing glasses.
That's awesome, man. All right. So last question kind of about the channel. What has kept you going and staying on the grind for 6 years now?
I'm a camera whore.
Nice. I love honesty.
Yeah, man. I like one, I'm a bit of a show off, but it's also a challenge. If you look at my videos and look at the names, I've done stuff like Baba Ganoush just because it was called Baba fucking Ganoush, man. Who makes that? I'm like, man, I can make that, or tiramisu, or a cooking technique I've never done before. I'm gonna learn it, and then I want to film it. Or if there's something I have to do, I did a video. I wish John Polite's not here. Chef John Polite, It's Only Food. I did a video where I had a pork loin, and I filleted it. I laid it out flat, stuffed it, rolled it, trussed it, smoked it. However, I did that video. And he shot me a message. Actually, it's one of the comments in that video. And he said, dude, from what I just saw you do, Phil, you just passed 8 of the 10 requirements for the chef's test or some shit. I was like, what?
Right
yeah.
on.
So it's, I like the challenge of, one, I want my videos to look professional. So if I learn a new skill, I'm going to practice it before I film it. If I learn a new recipe, I'll just go for it, because if I fail, I fail. If I, I'll do the outtakes. If it doesn't hurt my feelings if it doesn't turn out perfect. I'm not one to edit out mistakes. I'll edit out ugly shit, but I won't edit out my mistakes, or I'll throw in bloopers. But I firmly believe that people come to YouTube. Some people come to YouTube because they have a question, they want to learn something. Now, it's cool to have a flashy video about how good you can do it, but if you haven't shown them how they can do it, what did you do? What was the video for?
Right. I agree completely.
So, now I don't put my recipes down. I don't write my recipes down. That's for two reasons. I'll be total transparency here. I am planning on doing a cookbook eventually. So if I put all my recipes on YouTube, who the hell's going to buy a cookbook? That makes no sense. All right. The second thing is, I might like anchovies and you might not. I might like spicy and you might not. I might add salt and you might have high blood pressure. Someone might like pumpkin. I freaking hate pumpkin. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you everything to put it in, because you might not like your food the way I like my food. I'll show you how I did it, and then you can mix and match and change, because it's your dish. It's your kitchen. It's all about the cooking. It's not all about the cooking the way I cooked it. It's about cooking the way you want to cook it, but this is a way you can do it. This is the way I had. This is the way I did it. Use it for an example and expand from there.
Right on. Right on. All right, man. Red says I like to be called pumpkin. Pro tip. Red. All right. So as you can see, Kent jumped on. Little Dutch had a football game. Did they win at least?
Tell me they won, man.
Tell me they won.
Yeah. It was 22-18 was the final score. So
nice.
they were down 12-0 in the first half and came back and won. So yeah, hell of a game.
Right on. Well, glad you can make it.
Sorry,
guys. Kent's ready to be asked the questions, but I'm gonna let Miss CJ give me her questions, and we'll finish these off.
I only have one. So.
Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Out of all the places you've been, which place or country has the best food?
All right. So out of all the places you've been, which place has the best food?
America.
All right.
Chicago, South Side, Italian beef from a place called Maxwell's. The best freaking sandwich on the planet.
There you go. That's a solid answer right there. I love it. All right, go ahead.
What is Phil's favorite meal?
What is your favorite meal?
Ooh, my favorite meal to cook or favorite meal to eat?
I think eat.
I think eat.
Ooh, my favorite meal to eat is something interesting that I've never had before. I know that's a little ambiguous. I just wanted to say ambiguous.
You just want to say ambiguous, yeah.
But I'm a foodie. I'm a truest foodie in the truest form. I will absolutely try things that I haven't had before, just for the sake of curiosity. Is this good? Is it not good? How did they cook it? What does it taste like? Is it still moving? What the fuck? I'm one of those type of guys.
Right on.
So my favorite type of meal is something that's adventurous and something I've never had before. Now, just in case the question is my favorite thing to cook, hands down in the house, lasagna, man. I love a freaking lasagna.
I love it too, man. That's awesome. There you go. Red said he's Googling ambiguous.
Is he ever going to cook live?
Are you ever going to cook live?
I'm planning on it. Here's my dilemma. I'm gone so much. When I get back, my priorities is my family first, then vacation. I gotta take the pressure off. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay. And then I haven't quite cracked the code on. Okay, let me back up. This is what I want to do. I want to do a Facebook Live with a simultaneous Instagram Live. So that means from beginning to end, it's going to have to be about 10 minutes. Now, That's not impossible. I just got to plan it. do the prep work beforehand and just, throw in, saute, talk a little bit, giggle, drink, ta-da, it's done, taste test, So it's not impossible. I just got to work it through.
Right on. Is that all you got?
If you could do it over again, what one thing would you change about your channel?
All right. If you could do your channel from the start all over again with the knowledge you have now, what would you do differently?
Oh, if I could go all the way back to the beginning, I would incorporate what I've learned now. What do we always say? If I could go back in the past and know what I knew then, what I know now, the editing, the lighting, everything. If I was doing when I started, let me back up. If I was doing then what I'm doing now, I'd have freaking 1 million subscribers, because I started this when YouTube was, I'm talking about 5 years ago. There wasn't a PewDiePie yet. There wasn't any, what's her name? Jenna Marbles. None of those people existed when I first started doing this. There weren't no super mega YouTubers. If I was doing what I'm doing now back then, 5 years later, I'd be that guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So I just want to thank Mrs. CJ for doing this.
Me too. Thank you, Mrs. CJ.
All right. She's going to say hi real quick. Thank you. Bye. All right. Cool.
Man, you got good taste, and she fine too.
She all right. She
What?
I don't want her to get too big of a head. She knows. Oh my God. Get that fucking asshole Green Bastard style out of here. Just fucking ban his ass. I'm so tired of this shit. Go fuck yourself sideways.
Who's this guy?
All right. So on that note, let's see here. Some Facebook questions. What's the craziest thing you ever experienced overseas?
Okay. Ooh, shit. The craziest thing I've experienced overseas, I'm not trying to make this morbid, but okay. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. There I was. This is no shit. We're sitting there behind some foliage, what little bit of foliage. Now we're talking gun trucks. All right. 250 cal trucks, 2 Mark 19 trucks. Mark 19s are automatic grenade launchers. All right. 40 millimeter, 5 meter bursting radius. Anything in 5 meters is dead. That type of thing. Anyway, we're set up in an Overwatch position. Y'all ask. White Toyota pickup truck rolls up. They're behind they're behind some foliage too, some bushes and stuff. And the rules of engagement were hostile act, hostile intent. If they got weapons, if it looks like they're trying to do something, you let them have it. No questions asked. Shoot their asses off. So anyway, I'm the platoon sergeant. And we got thermals. So we're clearly looking at these guys with FLIR, forward-looking infrared. It's nighttime. We're behind bushes. They're behind bushes. And we see them dead to rights. And the LT calls me. My call sign was, well, I'll just say 5. He was 6. 5, just a 6. Go 6. What do you see? Dude, sir, make a decision, young man. Well. I was like, well, hell. 5-1, 5-3. Let him have it. The truck went away. Okay. I'll leave it like that. But that's one of the more interesting things that I've seen overseas. Let's move on.
All right, that was a bit deeper than I thought.
Let's move on.
I think this is let's see, Sal from Root Boy Cooks, which I haven't seen him in the chat, but
hey, Sal.
He put this on Facebook.
All right.
He goes, "Why does brown sugar taste so good?"
Man, brown sugar tastes good because it's freaking been it's been mellowed, man. You know, it hasn't separated. Let me back up. Granulated white sugar has had the molasses taken out. All right. Being an African American, everything ain't good if you take the molasses out. Sometimes you got to leave some of the molasses in the asses, and we'll leave that alone.
That's awesome. It's the molasses. Someone put that in there.
That's Chrissy. She said molasses.
Molasses. All right, so let's go to some of the cooking questions. I think you kind of touched on this before, but who taught you how to cook?
Ooh, who taught me how to cook? All right, here goes another one. I was an E5, which is a sergeant in the Army, newly promoted sergeant, and my mother-in-law, matter of fact, here at Fort Bragg, my mother-in-law took ill. And my wife, and I only had one daughter at the time, Jessica, who's 30. So I think she was maybe 3. This is 20 plus years ago. They went to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's where they were. Okay, that's where I got in-laws in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Don't go there much. But anyway, my wife was there. I'm still here at Fort Bragg, and she was gone for like 3 weeks, man, a month, maybe 2. And from there, man, dude, you can only eat so many bologna sandwiches. You know, there's only so many hot dogs you can boil, man. But anyway, from there, I started watching, and some of these people you're going to remember, the Galloping Gourmet, Jacques Pepin, Juliet Child, Emeril Lagasse, when he was young as shit, they were on the PBS. Remember that? You had the public broadcasting channel, and that's where the cook. There wasn't a Food Network.
There was
that's
a Galloping
food channels. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I started watching those shows, and it just made sense. You know, the spices and this is with that, and you know, vegetables and herbs and this type of meat, and you know, what do you do to tenderize it? That type of stuff. I started watching those and started trying it. And hell, shit was good, man. Things started tasting good. And I started experimenting, but then I let it go. Now, a few years later, my wife, we had left Fort Bragg. We went to Fort Benning, home of the infantry. Fort Bragg's home of the airborne, us paratrooper guys. Fort Benning is home of the infantry. Okay. So I went to Fort Benning because I was teaching Ranger School then. United States Army United States Army Ranger School. Yes, I was an instructor. Anyway, my wife was working in the background. Hey, I just did the same thing. My wife was working 2 jobs. Okay, love her to death, and I never wanted my wife to work, but we had to at the time. But now she don't have to because that's my job. Anyway, she was working 2 jobs, and Thanksgiving came around one year, and she was just tired. Now, she had already prepped. I can't take this away from her. She had already prepped the collard greens when you cut them up, cook them, and all. I mean, cut them up and wash them and all of that stuff. And she had already cut up a bunch of potatoes and stuff for, potato salad, blah, blah, blah. And then she went to sleep. I got up. I was on leave for some reason. And, dude, I started cooking. I did the turkey. I did the ham. I cooked the greens. I did potatoes. I did everything. And that was while she was asleep. So by the time we woke up Thanksgiving morning, everything was done. So Thanksgiving dinner was pretty much for breakfast. And she was like, what? Who? How did you? What? I'm like, shit. Thanks, PBS. And it turned out great. Everything wasn't perfect, but I tried. It was more about her not having to do it than it was about me trying to cook. Okay. I was trying to be helpful. Right. But I enjoyed the shit out of that. I did. And then Christmas, I did the same thing. And then for a while, before I started contracting, Thanksgiving and Christmas was mine. So that was the foundation of Daddy Cook. Just before any film and none of that was going on, that was the foundation that I knew I could cook and I enjoyed it. And then over the years, we already talked about that, how the whole YouTube thing started. But that's how it got to go. That's how it started.
Right on. Fair enough. All right.
I hope I'm not talking too much, man. You asked a question, I just let it fly.
I love it. I love that you keep going. I want to kind of take a sidebar and apologize for losing my shit there for a minute. Probably a little too much scotch in my blood. Got me a little fired up over a comment that was didn't need to be made. So that problem has gone away.
All right.
I apologize again. I do try to keep it jovial and fun on here, but sometimes my old past assholeness comes through. Maybe, who knows? So, Kent, you got anything over there? Nice to hear you talking. Glad you're here, brother.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make it. I tell you what, my blood pressure's finally come down from that football game. That was exciting, and the neat part about it is it was two Lamar's teams. So in about 4 years, we're going to have a pretty damn good team. So, not another cooking show wants to know, Phil, Temptations or Supremes?
Oh, Temptations 100% all the way. Temptations, man. Temptations.
Cool. All right. Kirby's Fish and Grill. If you had to choose one, authentic Mexican carne asada tacos or a ribeye steak?
A authentic carne asada taco made with ribeye steak.
Good answer. That's spot on there. That's all I got for now, CJ.
Right on. All right. So just remember, guys, if you got some questions for me or Phil on there, make sure you get them to Kent and just put them all. Put at Kent Vanderweerd and he'll see it. Kent, check your microphone, brother. I know they can't hear you too well. I see it on. Just make sure it's plugged in the right spot. Miss J said she couldn't hear you too well. JKC56, have a great night. KB, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, it wouldn't be authentic then. Nice. All right, cool. Your guilty food pleasure. What is your go-to, Phil?
Oh, my guilty food pleasure.
Besides lasagna, of course.
Right. But I'll tell you, this is going to surprise the shit out of y'all. You know what? I love a freaking Twizzler, man. Twizzlers, huh? Man, I don't eat a lot of sweets, but when a Twizzler,
all right.
That's my guilty food pleasure, man.
Costco or Sam's, right?
Twizzler, yeah, man. It's got to be the strawberry ones, though. Strawberry Twizzler. Yeah.
All right, man. That's awesome. All right, cool. And I know you're drinking Jamie, but I know that's not your go-to there. What is your go-to drink?
Man, the go-to. Okay. My go-to.
Okay, no, let me interrupt. Your go-to on a regular Friday night, and then your go-to when money's no object, you're out having some steaks with the wife.
Okay, perfect. My everyday go-to is Dewar's Scotch. All right. I normally get the regular Dewar's white label. 12 is even better. When I'm out, now this ain't an unlimited blah, blah, blah. It's just my palate. When I'm out having dinner, I prefer a dirty martini with a meal. Okay.
Right.
I like it. Absolute or Stoli. Dirty martini, nothing funky, nothing fancy, just a dirty martini, Absolute or Stoli. I'm good.
Now, with all this Doors or martinis, do you pair it with a cigar at all?
I don't smoke cigars. I never picked up that. Oh well, here's my thing. I used to from high school, grammar school. Don't tell nobody. From grammar school until what is this? This is 2018 until 2000 maybe 12, 13. I smoked, man, Newports like a mom. I smoked not terrible. I never got more than like, half a pack, maybe half a pack a day. But if I'm drinking, man, I run through a pack of cigarettes like it wasn't shit. But half a pack of cigarettes for years. But once again, back to the Kyrgyz Republic. When I was contracting after I retired, I got pneumonia when I was in the Kyrgyz Republic, Kyrgyzstan. And during that period, which sucked. Obviously, you can't smoke. Now, I never went through the withdrawal of not smoking because the pneumonia sucked so bad you didn't notice the freaking withdrawal from not smoking. So after a couple of weeks of that, antibiotics and clearing my lungs up and all of that, so now I'm cured, and I got a half a carton of freaking Newport stuck in the freezer because everybody knows you put it in the freezer, they say fresh longer. But anyway, if you don't know if you smoke, put this shit in the freezer. Anyway, so I got a half a carton of cigarettes in the freezer, and there was a guy named JP. Let me introduce you to JP. I think his name was John Pugh, P-E-W. Older gentleman, older than me, good looking dude. Well, you know, one of them pretty motherfuckers, you know, one of them type of dudes. But anyway, nothing was right for him. He's one of those guys where it's like, man, the water's too wet. Why is the sugar so sweet? You know, it's cold. You know, he's one of those type of guys. Nothing could please him. But he would always lose this. He'd always lose something. He'd lose a lighter. He'd lose his cigarettes, something in the cab. We took a lot of cabs in Kyrgyzstan, especially if we're drinking. We wouldn't drive. Last thing you want to do is go to a Kyrgyz freaking jail. Okay, right, so we wouldn't drive when you're drinking. So he'd come over. Oh man, where's my dude? Grab a pack of cigarettes. Well, let me have the freaking whole half a carton. No, man, because I was testing myself. So he would come over and grab a pack and then be gone. And then after a while, and that went on for maybe a month or so until all the cigarettes were gone. But because of that, I quit smoking because of pneumonia, and I really wanted to quit anyway. Sidebar, because you'll never quit anything unless you really fucking want to. Yeah. Pro tip. Anyway, I just wanted to look at them and test myself, and then I gave them to them. I divvied them out until they were gone. And since I quit smoking then in like 2012, I want to say 12 or 13, I don't do cigars because I consider cigar smoking. I don't do those those electronic e-cigarettes. I just consider them smoking. If you quit, you quit. So I just don't do anything. Fair enough. That was a long way around to get to that, wasn't it?
Hell yeah, but that's all right, man. I'm okay with that, dude. Hey, listen, man, I love the fact that you're chatting, man. It's awesome to me. I love the fact that I can just sit here and be a fan for a moment and just hear what you have to say. So whatever you got to say, take as long as you got to say. I don't care how long it takes. We're going to do the dang thing.
All right.
So we got Christy's Cooking Channel's lifetime question here. What is the best thing and the worst thing you've ever made, whether it be on YouTube or not?
The best thing I ever made. The best thing I ever made. Okay, I'll tell you one that I'm the most proud of. I'm not going to say it's the best. I can't think of the best thing I've ever made, but one that I'm most proud of, both in flavor and in video, was, okay, I got to set this one up. Dave Parrish came to the house, and we did reverse seared tomahawk steaks. He showed me the reverse sear technique, and I told him during that video, I'm gonna do this on my own without you. So we did that, did a video. It was great. It was fantastic. Loved it. He left, and then a while later, I don't know how long, I did 3, and I called it like the pinwheel technique or some shit like that. And dude, not only were the steaks amazing, I was so proud of that video. So that would be the best, one of the most proud things that I cooked. All right, both in flavor and in video presentation. One of the worst, I did I think it was a tequila. I was trying to do a tequila, I think it was chicken. It was a tequila marinated something. And I marinated it, I cooked it, and I was trying to make a sauce with the marinade, bring it up to and that was the worst dog ass tasting shit. Dude, I tried. I'm filming it. That film, no, it didn't. I deleted that shit. That never made it to YouTube. there was nothing that I could do to fix it. There was nothing I could do to make it taste better, man. I didn't like the smell. I didn't like the taste. It looked, dude, oh my goodness. That was my worst. That was an epic fail, and it never made it to YouTube.
Did you at least drink the rest of the tequila?
Well, yeah, I had to drink the tequila to get the taste of the sauce out of my mouth, man. I was doing shots.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness, that was terrible. Yeah.
All right, cool. I know Daryl just said he's gonna jump out, but he left a question for Kent for you. So Kent, go ahead and ask your questions real quick.
All right, let's try this microphone thing again.
That sounds better.
All right. As he said, Daryl, Bad Beast Barbecue wants to know when we're going to see some drone footage.
Drone footage. I heard that question. Okay. I only have so much neighborhood and so much yard, and I don't want to be redundant. So here was my plan. We were planning on going on a cruise this year, but we ended up not doing it. And I'm planning on going to, okay, shameless plug. Smoking and Grilling with AB. They're going to be doing a creators cruise next year. If you go on Facebook, I hope he's in here. I'm plugging this shit. Anyway, go on Facebook and look for creators cruise. It's next year. I think it's around June. Don't give me the line to you on when it is. Look it up. I'm planning on going. Daryl from Bad Beast Barbecue, I think he said he's planning on going, and a bunch of other creators. It's not only creators, but they're going to be floating out of San Diego, I believe. So those of us on the East Coast, you're going to have to fly. I'm willing to do that. And Kim said I could. So we're planning on doing that next year. If you guys are interested, and I came to that because of drone, I'm planning on using my drone. The next cruise I take, I'm freaking going to fly that drone 360 around that boat. I'm going to film that shit. I might throw in some slow motion or whatever. But yeah, that's not the next time I use the drone. It's just that I want to make sure it doesn't look boring, man. I spent money on that drone, and it can do some great freaking footage. I just don't want to limit it to being the fifth camera hovering, pointing at a barbecue grill. That don't make no sense. You know.
That cruise, I think it's the Mexican Riviera, so it's Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo, probably Cabo. So if any of the mods want to find that link from Facebook, go ahead and throw it in there. But if not, just find Creators Cruise 2019. Yeah, I'll be checking it out. I don't know if we can make it, but it'll be cruises are a good time. So can't go wrong with free booze all day. I mean, obviously you pay for it at some point, but
it's a drink package. Now the downside of the drink package is a Carnival cruise. The downside, I'm not plugging anybody, but I like Royal Caribbean because their drink packages are truly unlimited. You can get, but Carnival, I think they cut you off at 15 drinks per day for their drink package, but I think they allow you to do doubles. So
yeah, I watched Jay Wade and AB talk about that last night.
Yeah,
Jay Wade said you can do doubles; it counts as one drink.
Yeah, so that'll work.
He's found a pro tip, if you will. So, all right, Kent, what you got, brother?
All right, I think this one kind of got covered with the previous answer, but soul food cooking. Wanted to know the video you were most proud of, but I think you hit that a couple minutes ago.
Nope. The video that I'm most proud of?
Yeah.
The one that I'm the most proud of, it's a longer one. But the one that I'm most proud of is kind of artsy fartsy, kind of like a Travel Channel, Food Network type of thing. I was about to say Kim. My wife and I went to New York, and we went to the Chew, and we took a train ride And I documented that. And then, you know, we went to Madame Tussauds. I documented that. Then we went to the Chew, and all 5 of the guests were there. Mario and Simon, all of them were there. And then we did some other things, went to a couple restaurants. I didn't interview people, but I told them I had a YouTube channel. They allowed me to film some things and then documented the train ride back. That took me the longest to film, and it's kind of artsy fartsy, but I love that video. That's one of my proudest videos right there.
That's cool. I would have loved to have seen the show with all 5 on it. That's for sure. The road to good cooking wants to know, when you're in parts unknown, are you able to find your Dewar's or your Jameson?
It's an interesting question. When I'm in parts unknown, I have we work on we call it a dry contract. We're not allowed to drink over there.
Oh wow!
So when I'm over there, and that's for obvious reasons. One, that's one instance where you have to be sharp. You're not trying to, you know, how to word it. There's a difference between a mistake and a bad decision. Okay. A mistake is when nobody gets hurt. A bad decision is difficult to recover from. Okay. A mistake is you're drunk and you say, "Give me my keys, I want to drive." No one's hurt right there. A bad decision is the other person giving them the keys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So in my line of work and in the places that I do find myself in, we really do everything that we can to not make bad decisions. I'll just leave it like that.
I like it.
Makes sense. Quick follow-up from the real Joey B on the drone footage, the drone question. He wants to know, what kind of drone do you have?
Oh, man, I got a Mavic Pro. I bought it last year. I would say it's a perfect drone, but guess what just happened? They just came out with the Mavic 2, and they came out with a Mavic 2 Zoom. I think they're coming out very soon. The Mavic 2 has a better camera, and the Mavic 2 Zoom has a capability to zoom in. Awesome. I'm just not buying another freaking. No, I'm not doing it this soon. But I have a Mavic Pro. I like it because it's collapsible, easy to travel with, and it has an awesome camera. Minus the fact that they just made 2 drones that have awesome cameras. But yeah, I got a Mavic Pro.
So you're saying drones are like cell phones and computers. As soon as they put it out, it's obsolete.
You got the newest one for a year. Just like a car.
There you go. Robert Roy wants to know, who do you like better, Martha Stewart or Rachel Ray?
Rachel Ray. Wait. I like the 30-minute meals Rachel Ray. The skinny fine as hell Rachel Ray. All right. So now we got the turkey pot pie Rachel Ray. I like her too. But the 30-minute meals Rachel Ray.
She's a little bit all right.
I know.
Yeah. All right, one final question. With your channel name, Daddy Cooks, why did you have to crush Daddy Dutch's barbecue? Why did you have to steal his thunder with your channel name?
See, now that would depend on which daddy was the first daddy.
Well, I can tell you it wasn't me.
Oh man, there's enough room for all of us. Matter of fact, we should support each other, man. We support each other. Look, we'll make a freaking Instagram freaking hashtag daddy. Hashtag daddy cooks, daddy Dutch daddy, something. Well, hashtag DDDD daddy.
There you go. Let's see. Shadow Seed, Phil, was there any other place you have been during your travels that you'd like to go back, if only to eat the food?
Whew, I'm glad you said food. Stop it. Where would I like to go for food? Italy. I was in my okay, I gotta set this one up. How long we been on, man? I hope I ain't overdoing this.
No, we're pushing an hour and a half, but we got plenty of viewers, plenty of people want to talk. So
all right,
going until it's time to not keep going.
Okay. After basic training, AIT, which is advanced individual training, then I went to airborne school. All right, Fort Benning, Georgia. After I graduated that, I was stationed at Vicenza, Italy, part of the 4325 ABCT, Airborne Combat Team in Vicenza. Airborne Combat Team. Airborne Combat Team Vicenza. So now I'm in Italy. I'm 19 years old. Cobblestone streets, catching buses. Vino's vino. Wine is wine. And freaking, I just remember going to trattorias, which are family-owned restaurants where you're sitting, you got outdoor seating and things like this. But there was this place across the street from Caserma, Italy, which is Camp Early, our base, almost directly across the street. Okay, you got to work with me here. Across the street from our camp, big gate, cobblestone street, cross the street. There's an Audi dealership to the left. Another, establishment right across the street. I can't remember what that was. There was this trattoria where they had this bigly. I'll get back to that. And then to the right of that was the Arcobaleno. I don't even know what Arcobaleno means, but it was a pornography movie theater. It was called Arcobaleno. I don't know why I remember that. Okay, stop it. Anyway, Arcobaleno. So across the street to the half right, they had these. We just ordered the spaghetti, the big spaghetti. I think they called it bigly, but there was these extremely thick spaghetti noodles. And then with it, man, it was like pepperoni and cheese and so much stuff. Dude, it was like a pizza noodle thingy. And it was freaking amazing. We would order it all. It was great drunk food. Strictly from what I heard.
Pro tip.
But man, that was some great food. And then being in Italy, Italian pizza is not American pizza. But dude, it was if I could go back to some place for the food, just based on my vague memory, because that was years ago, I'd like to go back to Italy just to try the cuisine again, man. I would say Italy. Second to Italy would be the Philippines.
Really? Right on.
Yeah.
I'm planning on making some lumpia pretty soon. I love that stuff, man. It's the only thing I know from Philippines, but it's freaking good.
Try balut. I got a
no.
video on that too.
I'm not adventurous at all. There's no balut trying in my future. But, 100,000 people can't be wrong, right? Who knows?
Exactly.
All right. So I saw in the chat, Jay from LeprakonTV, he was saying that how are we going so strong and not having to use the restroom? Jay,
because I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.
We're professional drinkers. As you can see over my shoulder, we tend to enjoy our beverages or two. So we know not to overdo it and break the seal. You can't break the seal or it's done.
I'll be honest with you. I peed before we started.
Yeah, me too. You always gotta take a pregame ritual. I tell you, I treat this like a football game, dude. I come in here.
I know, man.
I'm
not gonna lie.
I'm about to put some eye black on pretty soon.
I'll be honest with you guys. I was giddy, man. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be on the hot seat. I was excited, man. I still am. Yeah, I'm good.
Seriously, the feeling is freaking more than mutual. And and Steve said I have a pee bucket underneath the camera. Funny story. We used to go to Vegas all the time. Me and the guys, me and my buddies from school, and we used to go to the nightclub. And we get VIP and all that stuff. And I had convinced another one of our buddies, like, you need to come. It's gonna be a good time. It's all classy. You know, we're wearing suits and all that stuff. And one of my boys actually took an ice bucket and just underneath the table. And my other friend's like, classy. This is classy. I don't know, man. 3 bottles of vodka in, you know, whatever. It is what it is. So
it is what it is.
Do what you got to do when the time is right. Yeah, I think you're right, Hobo. Red's Barbecue and Pizzeria had one. Let's see. I'm sorry, Kent. You good or no?
Yeah. I got a couple more here.
Wow.
By the way, everybody in the chat is saying TMI on the pee bucket and everything.
Yeah, whatever.
So I just won't mention the fact that I just wet myself. But anyway,
you just wet yourself. I think it's probably good your microphone's not as loud as it should be.
Well, I got pants on, so you won't hear it anyway.
Okay, good.
Fire Escape Griller wants to know, Phil, if you were in the Special Forces, and if you are, can you explain what constitutes the Special Forces in the U.S. military?
Okay, I was not in the Special Forces, but I can break it down to you, the tiers of, how to word it, the tiers of the elite. You have the Army. The Army are the ones that defend the country the most conventionally. Okay, so that's everybody. You got infantry, conventional Army guys, infantry guys, you got MPs, you got every branch, engineers, petroleum specialists, people that drive trucks, people that all walks of life that make the Army function. That's the Army. One step up from there would be the airborne. There are a couple tiers of airborne. First tier would be your air assault, 101st. Someone else was in there talking about the 101st. 101st. The air assault guys, they'll fly into limited access places, and they will rappel out of helicopters or fast rope, which used to be classified, but it's not. They'll fast rope. So the helicopter never lands. So they will deploy from helicopters from the air to the ground, hit the ground, and then deploy, ready to fight and win. A step up from there, once again, airborne, are your parachutists, paratroopers. They will fly in Air Force aircraft. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division for half of my career. Matter of fact, let's see if I can point here. Right. There's a plaque right over my head here. You can see the rucksack and the 82nd and all that stuff. Those guys, us guys, fly in an airplane. They open the doors and you jump out with a parachute into the battlefield. The purpose of those guys is because there's not a runway, there's no place to land the aircraft yet, or you're going to a country, and I hope this didn't take it too long, you're going to a country where the airport is still hostile, and we need to take it. So you send a bunch of people like me that's going to fly in at night. They're going to open the doors out of 10, 12, 15 aircraft. We're going to all jump out. We're going to land on the airport and take it. It's called an airfield seizure. Once you take the airport and secure it, then we bring in our aircraft and we build from there. So those guys are a little bit more elite. When you start getting into special forces, their peacetime mission is to teach. They're instructors. Their wartime mission is to have sensitive targets and to take those sensitive targets out. Okay, they work in small teams. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that. They work in small teams. You have a medic, you have a weapons specialist, you have communication specialists, and this, that, and the other. And they're going to go in, find their target, neutralize the target, and they're going to leave. And then you have the other guys, Delta, Unmentionables, and they do things that on a strategic level, even though there's a very few of them. And I'm just going to leave that alone. And let's talk about cooking.
All right, kid. Last question, brother.
Actually, I have two now. I have no idea what this means. I am not military, but my son is in actually the Iowa National Guard. Easy Bake Barbecue wants to know, what is the status of NUUUDS?
The nuts the not ugly drum smoker. I built that. Now that's a good subject. It's going to take a minute.
We got all night, brother.
Okay. Let's go back about 4 years ago. I think maybe 5 years ago. I was smoking a pork butt, maybe 2, on my barbecue grill. And they turned out great. They turned out fantastic. But it took me all night, man. I filmed it. I documented it. I'm happy with it. And a guy named Jeff S, Jeffs. I don't even know what that stands for. And he was like, dude, these are comments on my YouTube channel. Man, those pork butts turned out great, but it would have been a lot easier if you use a UDS. I'm like, what the hell is a UDS, right? So I started doing some research. I'm all for doing things easier. So I found out that UDS stood for ugly drum smoker or upright drum smoker. Cool. How do you make one? So I started doing more and more research, and I found zilch, man. I found nada. I found people with, hey, if you send me $15, I'll send you a blueprint. For $5.99, I can send you how to make one. I'm like, really, people? I just want to make one. I ain't trying to pay you for a blueprint. I just want to make a freaking smoker. So after doing a little bit of research and seeing a little bit of this, and a lot of videos on YouTube on how people made theirs, but it was like welding and, here's my drum. This is what it looks like made. Well, dude, what about the middle? You're not helping me. So I got a bunch of ideas and pictures, and I think I know what a ugly drum smoker is supposed to be like. So I drove my ass to, I think it was Garner, North Carolina. I went on what's that? What's the name of that website? Well, you type in to get stuff and they tell you where to get it. I can't think of it. People got jacked up on them channels. Anyway, I did a search, and there was a guy that said that he was selling them in Garvey. And I drove. I think I got 2 of them. My brother-in-law was like, hey, man, get 2. So for $50, I got 2 drums. Brought my ass back to the house. And no, not Google, Hobo, Kris. It wasn't Google. It was, what's that? It'll come to me while I'm talking about this crap. Anyway. So now I got this drum. I burned it out in my backyard because I'm in an area where I don't know if I'm allowed to burn up, but I didn't ask. I just did the shit in my backyard. Cool. I didn't get arrested. And I just started putting this thing together. And everything was pretty smooth from what Craigslist. Thank you. Thank you, Kris. It was Craigslist. Kent Vanderweed. That's a good name. Anyway,
that's me.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, I watched the chat on the other iPad. So yeah, that's actually me, brother.
That's his Vanderweed. That's like smoking weed, man. I love you more.
No, it's got an R in there. The last is weird. That's weird.
Okay. Back to the story. Anyway, I started building it because I told myself, listen, if I don't know how to make one and I want to make one, I'm going to show the folks how to make one. And everything was going smooth until I got to the top. I was like, oh shit, I don't have the big old 2-inch bung hole that was in there. Bung hole is a real word. Stop it, people.
I was like, this is like Beavis and Butthead. Bung hole. Cool.
But, you know, the screw in a 2-inch pipe, and mine didn't have anything. So I ended up drilling the 4 holes and doing the 4 chimneys and all that crap, which I think I invented. And I built the thing. So once I painted it, I put a Ranger tab plate on it, and it was all black and gold and all that stuff. I said, well, I made me an ugly drum smoker. And I was like, well, that thing ain't ugly. It's a not ugly drum smoker. So that's where Nuds came from. Nuuds, a not ugly drum smoker. Now, once again, that's a long way around to get into the answer, but that's what the Nuuds is. Not ugly drum smoker. It's pretty, man. Now it's ugly now.
You need to take that trip, Phil. You need to go to get there.
Yeah, man. You know, why deny the folks? I'm all personality, man. I'm sorry.
No, man, dude, I'm telling you, stop apologizing. This is fucking gold. Sorry, freaking gold.
Yeah, it's fucking gold. I'm sorry, freaking gold.
No, it's all good, man. So,
all right, good or what?
One more. Hobo Nichol BBQ wants to know, how many perfectly good airplanes have you jumped out of?
I have never jumped out of a perfectly good aircraft because there's some shit wrong with all of them. It just didn't go bad when I was on it. It's just good to have an option. It's good to have. Now, this is no shit. Operation Just Cause. After the whole Noriega thing happened, we did a E-roll, which is a engine running onload. And our unit, we did E-rolls onto the aircraft, and then we did in-flight rig. In-flight rig is while you're flying and you're in the aircraft, the C-130, all of the parachutes are already on pallets. Reserve parachutes are already on pallets in the aircraft. So you run on the plane, they close the back hatch, you take off, and then for I think it was like 6 hours, whatever it was, to fly from Panama back to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So now you're sitting on the aircraft. Once you're like 2 hours out, they start issuing out parachutes. You put everything on. Then the jump masters have to do the JMPI, jump master personnel inspection, make sure everything's right. And then you jump. It sucks because of vertigo. The planes are doing like this. It's a pain in the butt, but see, that's some shit you guys never knew. Yeah, sometimes get on the airplane without parachutes. You put them on while you're on the plane, and then you jump the hell out. So you learned something. But anyway, we flew back to Fort Bragg, and after that mission was over, we all jumped. And it was actually, at the time, it was the largest redeployment, parachute deployment, redeployment. 21 C1, I think they were C-130s and C-141s, which are the 141s are disbanded. They don't use them anymore. Only the Air Force Reserve does. But anyway, I think it was 21 aircraft. They blew both doors. That means left and right door, and everybody exited in one pass. And they told us, this is funny, if you did not make it to the formation, because we all jumped, hit the ground, it was a hop and pop. Okay, I'm trying not to give you too many military terms you guys are familiar with. It was a hop and pop. You hop out the aircraft, you hit the ground, and you pop your parachute off. You take everything off, and then leave it on the ground. You normally recover it, but it was a hop and pop. And then we were supposed to form up as a unit, and where we landed was downhill from where the bleachers were. Now, here you go. This is going to screw some of you guys up. Remember back when that C-130 at Fort Bragg crashed because of the tank in front of all those people? I forget, this was in the 80s. But where we did this was in that same drop zone, Sicily drop zone. And it's a downhill slope. So we all jump, we hit the ground. They can't see you anymore. We take off our parachutes, and then we formed up in this mass formation, and then we all marched over the crest. And the battalion commander said, actually, the battalion commander was Lieutenant Colonel Ivy, who ended up being the 18th Airborne Corps commander. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into all that. He said, if anyone doesn't march over the crest, if you don't make it to that formation, you got to stay on the drop zone and recover those freaking parachutes. We were like, fuck that. Look, we're helping people limp and shit. Come on, man. You can make it. Dudes with twisted ankles, backs hurting because every landing is not a perfect landing. Come on, dude. I got you. And nobody died, thankfully. Nobody got hurt seriously. And we all marched off in that freaking drop zone after Operation Just Cause in Panama. Yes, indeed.
Right on. Bassfinder 68 said he was working at that hospital.
Womack.
Womack, yeah. Womack Medical.
You were there? Nice.
So, Bassfinder.
I'm sorry.
Bassfinder. Yeah, hey, thank you for your service too, brother.
Yeah, hey, Bassfinder, I still go there to pick up my medications, man. I don't pay no freaking no pro fees and shit.
All right, Ken, you good?
Yeah, I got one last thing for Phil here. You're paying $25 for an empty drum?
At the time, I did because I didn't know any better. I know there's folks getting them for like $12. They're getting there's people getting them for free, but man, I had a video to make. Fuck.
I was gonna say, at $25 a pop, how many do you want? I go half block down from my work and I get them for $5 a pop.
I know, right, man? But I'm not in that position. I wish. I wish.
That's all I got for now. I gotta say, Phil, I'm sorry I was late, but I had to coach a football game for my son.
I'm glad you won, man. Don't apologize. I'm glad you won.
Well,
hey, at least you didn't lose.
This has been fun so far, and it sucks. I got to go back to rewatch the beginning of it. I wish I would have been here for the whole thing. So, if you guys got any more questions, hit me up in the chat, and we'll see what we get. CJ, I'll let you know what I have.
All right, cool. So Hobo just put in the chat, I think it was about 5-10 minutes ago, that 50 more minutes, and we'll break the record that Chef Johnny had with Kris. No hippie, Lyle, dude, you're still here? That's my first question. I am so impressed you're still up right now and partying. Lyle, dude, much props, man. Good night, brother. So, Phil, we got about 45 minutes to break the record. I have plenty of questions. You have the stamina to keep going.
Dude, man. Hell yeah, I got stamina. Look.
You got the whiskey to keep going.
Dude, I ain't even halfway down yet.
All right. Hey, Kent, you got that question. My pops jumped in the channel. Everybody say hi to the original he's not CJ, but Chuck there. He's my pops. Everybody say hi.
Hey, Chuck. Pops. Is that Mr. Volkman?
No, I'm Mr. Volkman. He's Pops Volkman.
To me, you're CJ. To him, he's Mr. Volkman.
He like I was telling you earlier, he was a Ranger too. So it was
hey.
I texted him and told him to jump on and get in there and say hi.
Hey,
so,
I just tell Rangers lead the way. All the way and then some. That's right. That's
awesome, man. All right, guys. I've like totally gone off script. This thing is just gone off the record. So Jim says to keep going. We still have 35 viewers in there, so hey, that's awesome. Real quick, if you guys haven't subbed to Phil, myself, Kent, Hobo, any of the people on there, make sure you're subbed to everybody. Click the three little buttons next to the comment line, and it'll take you to the channel, and you can subscribe to them. Let's keep supporting each other and keep it going. I love that we have tons of YouTube folks in here, but like Bassfinder 68 or even my dad, those are people that are just fans watching. So that's exciting for me. So I'm really excited about that. It looks like real quick, Steve from 9 Other Cookie Shows hitting the sack. Hey brother, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it, man. And
if I may, hey,
please,
everyone that's here, I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. You guys, look, I'm just as big of fans of you guys if you guys are mine. I'm serious. When I found out I was going to be on here, I was like, all giddy. But now let me put it. I'm gonna put a downer in here for a second. This is gonna kind of not weird, but to Kris Hobo Nichol, dude, I owe you an earnest apology, man, and thank you for persisting. You've done so much for our community, both of them, because of the split. You know what I'm talking about. Because of the split, and I figured and the reason I wanted to do the hot seat is to say this. This ain't the only reason, but to say this. There was no reason for me to be angry when the people that should have been angry weren't angry anymore. So, hey, man, accept my apology. Everything's good. And hopefully we can just move on from there, brother. I just want to say that out loud. I love you like cook food. Let's move on from there.
Right on. That's sweet, man. Hold on, Kate. So Kris said the record is 3 hours and 16 minutes. Now we're only coming up on 2 hours if my math is right. So we definitely got some time. I thought the record was more like 2.5 hours. But we'll keep plugging along, see where we go. So Kris said we good. We both got twisted. Let's handle this off air. So I guess you guys can chat afterwards.
I just had to give him a kiss and smack him on the ass. We're good.
Yeah, I keep waiting to see Kris one day and give him a big old bro hug, even though he doesn't like that stuff. I'm gonna bring it in on the big bear, give him a big squeeze. So KB said he just opened another drink. You better not go nowhere.
Well, shit. I just topped off.
He just topped off. I need some more ice out here. Cheers, guys. All right, let's get back to some of the questions over here. We're out of control. This thing's not quite falling off the rails. Kent, you said you have one more thing?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Why don't you go get ice while I talk to Daddy Cooks here a minute? The true Mr. Volkelman, would like to know when you served, Phil.
When I served, man, I joined the Army January the 3rd, 1985, which is probably children's years to you, sir. I am a veteran of Operation Just Cause, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, which doesn't shake a little dick at Vietnam. Thank you, sir. I taught the United States Army Ranger School as an instructor from 2003 to 2008. And that's nothing I can say is going to compare to Vietnam. So I'm humble and I thank you for your question. You got tears in my eyes because shit, man, Vietnam. There's come on, Rambo. There ain't nothing I can do with that.
Where did you serve at the beginning?
Well, obviously I started freaking basic training, AIT, and airborne. AIT is advanced infantry training at Fort Benning, Georgia. From there, I was stationed in Vicenza, Italy, the 4th of the 4th Battalion, 325th Infantry Regiment, Airborne Combat, ABCT, Airborne Combat Team in Vicenza. I did that for my first year and a half, 2 years in the Army. we rotated as a battalion. So the whole battalion, we're talking about 1,000+ people, 1,000+ people rotated to Fort Bragg, and the 3rd Battalion, 3rd of 325, rotated to Vicenza, Italy. Yeah, they do that. And then I was there at Bragg, man, for years. I was just happy to jump, man. I was a jumping junkie. I was part of the freaking 82nd Airplane Gang, man. That's what we do. You fly, the mission statement, it's going to sound kind of hokey, I think, but, well, not to me. The 82nd Airborne Division mission statement is to, upon notification, fly anywhere in the world within 18 hours or less, jump out of an airplane, land, and upon contact with the ground, fight and win. That is the mission statement. That is what paratroopers do from Fort Bragg. That's what I did for not my entire adult life, but from 19 years old until I retired. That's pretty much what I did, man. I went to other places, drill sergeant and ROTC instructor and, this and that and the other, but come on, man. My job was to hurt people and blow shit up. That's what we do. And
that's awesome, man.
and look, now I cook.
You cook now. Oh, that's awesome, man. Are you good, brother?
No, one more thing.
Holy crap, dude.
Back to Mr. Chuck Volkman. Hobo put something here in the chat, and I would appreciate.
And we lost him. Hobo, what'd you put in the chat?
Please email Hobo Nichol BBQ or myself for some good dirt on this young man.
Say that one more time, Kent. You froze, brother.
Dirt who? Dirt on me?
No,
on CJ. We're asking CJ's dad for some dirt on him when he was young and rambunctious, so we got something to throw in his face.
Look, let me break this down to you. Army, Ranger to Ranger, it doesn't matter the era. This surpasses time. I'm gonna break it down to you, Mr. Volkman, as an airborne infantry ranger. He was kicking ass, taking names. There was no, check this out now, no sky too high, no, wait, hold on, how do we say it? No sky too high, no sea too deep, no muff too tough. Airborne Ranger.
All right, cool, man. I think Kent was saying that they want my dad to email them to get dirt on me so they can fuck with me later. But here's what you won't know is I have no dirt. I was a good kid. And Mr. CJ is looking at me sideways too. I was a good kid. I never did anything wrong. I stole some G.I. Joes once. That's it. I just that's all I did. I was a good kid. Never got detentions. Did good stuff. Yeah, I never got sent to the principal's office. Ha! All right, so anyway, Kent, you're good, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's get back to the questions here. CJ lies. Oh my gosh, Ray. Ray, I was a good boy. Dad, say something, please. I was a good boy. All right. So let's get back to the questions, Phil. We're kind of tangenting a little bit. Let's go with one of the questions that Kris used to take a leak to. 3 channels you watch. You gotta think, man. 3 channels you watch. 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be bigger.
The big channel that I watch that I really enjoy, and someone else mentioned this, I think, a while back, but French Guy Cooking. He's a French dude. Now, here's something that people don't know. Jamie Oliver, I want to say about 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, had a contest. Who's going to be the next food tube star? and I submitted that contest. And guess who beat me?
Who's that?
This French guy cooking. Now, like I'm saying, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. But now he's blowing up, and man, this guy is like scientific, and he's a foodie, and he cooks, and he does engineering shit. If you guys enjoy Daddy Cooks, I think you'll enjoy French Guy Cooking. So that's the big channel that I watched that I really enjoyed. Medium channel, and I don't know subscriber base numbers, but medium channel that I watch. Does it have to be food related, or could it just be?
It could be whatever you're checking out on YouTube. Don't worry about it.
What do I watch? Medium channel. Okay, wait. Let's back up. Big channel that I watch is Watch Mojo. It's huge, millions and millions. They just, because they just do the stuff that I look at, media and TV and movies and stuff. So that would be the big one. Medium, hovering around 1 million. I don't know how many subscribers he got. That would be the French Guy Cooking. So that would be my second one. And one channel that I think that should be bigger would be mine.
But you're big. I'm talking about.
No, I'm not big, man. But okay, what's the criteria?
500 to 1,000 subscribers. What do you think should be bigger?
Okay, a small smaller than mine that I think should be bigger. I'm trying to come up with something that comes to mind that I watched that's a really small one that's really cool, interesting, pops up. Shit. See, you're gonna have to make me search. I don't have a just one. Okay.
More than one.
Okay. I don't have a just one, so maybe I'm cheating. I'm not. I like what you're doing, CJ, because you stabilized that you stopped bumping the damn table. Okay.
Hey, pro tip.
Pro tip. I like soul food cooking, and always a staple. If you want to make a sausage, if you want to do some good stuff, the road to good cooking, and that's because I love Josie to death, and I watch hers, anything she does, and she has a mukbang channel too. But I watch so many, but those will be my three.
Right on.
I like what you're doing. I like soul food cooking because they just do it's subtle and it's nice and it's pretty. And then Josie's just down to earth.
Yeah. I love Josie, dude. She's insane. I love watching her. She's got her little cocktail while she's smoking meat out in there in desert heat. She's
just down to earth. They're gonna be a collab. Daddy Cooks and Mama Cooks and Girly Cooks and Josie. We gonna be drinking some doors and chilling. I'm telling you, I ain't lying.
That's awesome, man. All right. This is a particularly tough one, but if you could cook with anybody at any time in history, who would it be?
Whoa, if I could cook. Oh, see, I didn't think about this one beforehand because I'm ready for the Rushmore question. But anyway, if I could cook with anybody at any time, and it has to be a chef or a cook, just can't pick a person.
No, it could be whoever you want. It's a subjective question. No big deal.
Well, if I could cook with anyone, shit. I would like to cook with and drink with Anthony Bourdain.
Yep.
I just would.
The answer a lot of people, throw out there.
And this isn't just because he passed away. It's just because when he describes, I went to this place and had a good time. I drank too much and, well, I shouldn't have done it. And, I paid for it in the morning. That's just honest, man.
Yeah.
It's honest. Now, let me throw this out. And I hope this doesn't make anyone look at me sideways. And if you do, you just do. I have zero respect for suicide. Nothing at all. because I can't see in my brain anything that's so terrible where I'm going to take me out. I'll break your shit. I'll crash your car. I'll punch you in the mouth, but I don't want to be punched in the mouth. Right. I can't see that. That's hard for me. But my respect for his work, and this ain't food, but, Robin Williams and others that have committed suicide. It's hard for me to get over the suicide piece because I have zero respect for that. But I got 100 respect for the work and commitment that was done prior to. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, completely.
Okay. I just said it, but I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right, since you're ready for it already, tell me your
give me.
Tell me your personal Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore, and people ask me this, hey man, I know you're going on the hot seat. What's the Mount Rushmore question? This is no shit. I've had this question about freaking 10 times this week. And this is my legitimate 100% question. You put my beautiful wife, Kim, right smack dab in the middle. Now, granted, Mount Rushmore is 4. I require 5.
5?
You put 2 of my daughters to the left and 2 of my daughters to the right. And that's my perfect Mount Rushmore.
Dude, that just put a tear in my eye, man. That's so sweet. Look at Ken's crying over there too. So all right. Let's see here. Who would you like to see on the hot seat?
I would like to see Josie Road, the road to good cooking, on the hot seat.
I agree. I would like to see Miss J on there too.
I would like to see.
She said she would do it.
Okay.
So Miss
who
J.
Else? I only get one question? I only get one answer?
Oh no, man, please give me more.
Okay. Josie is one I'd like to see. I would like to see and she's been dormant. I haven't seen her in a minute, but Head Chef Mom.
Oh, Kendall.
I don't know where she is, where Kendall went. I'd like to see her on the hot seat.
She dropped a couple videos like a month ago, and then she kind of disappeared again.
Yeah, but I'd like to see her. Right. I'd like to see who's one more. I would like to see. I'd like to see John Wanello.
Which one's that?
You have to look him up. He does a lot of fishing. He does a lot of low carb. I don't know if he's in the YouTube Cooks community, but he's one of the channels that I watch as well. John Wanello. I'd like to see him more involved with us as a group.
All right. If anybody in the chat knows who that is, throw. Oh yeah, okay. I see Smoky Goodness. Wanello, 1946.
There you go. There you go.
Got it. All right, cool. Thank you for those two. Miss J, I'll be talking to you soon. I know you said you'd be down to come on. I have a couple openings in October, so I'll be giving you a shot pretty soon.
Y'all keep talking. Y'all gonna give me a second. Now the cork's been popped. I'll be back.
No. All right, let's. Phil's got to run. All right, that's a first. Ken, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing good. I tell you what, this is some pretty cool shit going on here tonight, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. I am more than excited to be talking to Phil tonight. I've seen everybody in the chat. Mona, I'm getting the last four letters of your name there. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but I really appreciate you being on tonight. I've never seen you on our show today, so I hope you subscribe to everybody. That's very cool. Thanks for supporting. Big Ray, I want to get you on the hot seat too. So whenever you get a moment, let's chat. I think
definitely,
yeah. All right.
And I am back.
All right. Thank God, Phil.
I even washed my hands with vanilla bean extract.
It's all right, man. Let's see. I know you've been there, Ray, but I heard it got deleted or something. So anyway, we'll chat later. Kent, go ahead and ask your last couple questions. If anybody has any last second questions, throw them in the chat. But we're going over 2 hours now, so we're going to kind of wrap it up. But if you got anything last minute you want to get in there, jump in there, brother.
Damn, we over 2 hours? And look, and we didn't break freaking 60.
I know. I think the highest I saw was 53.
Yeah, I saw like 52, 53, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll be beating Chris's record tonight. But we're coming for you, man. We're coming for you.
That's all right. I'll be back. Let me make 100,000. I'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. There you go. You guys heard it here first. When Phil hits 100,000, he's coming back on the hot seat.
Or before. Come on. I love you guys.
All right. Don't be making up lies about Ray. I'm not trying to make up lies. I thought you guys said that you guys lost the footage for it. So I am completely sorry, Kris. I am not trying to make up lies. And Ray, I apologize myself for saying that you weren't on there. LeprakonTV, Big J, I don't have to go pee. I've just been pissing on the floor the whole time. So anyway, Kent, go ahead and ask your last couple questions and we'll get rolling.
Actually, right now I just have one. It's from Jim E. What is the most exotic meat you've cooked, Phil? And was it good or not?
Wow, the most exotic meat. I would have to say octopus. And it was fantastic. My wife didn't eat it because my wife's my wife. But my daughters chomped it. Okay, listen. Little digress here. My wife, we and her joined. After we did that, we produced children. Seeds of my loin. And those seeds eat what the hell I do.
I like
and
it.
They thought the octopus was great.
All right. Kent, you're done? All right, cool.
That's the only one I got.
That's the only one. I think, Phil, I think we're kind of winding down, brother.
All right, man. I enjoyed. I appreciate this, and thank you for the opportunity and the recognition, and give me the time to, answer these questions and to let Kris know that we're good. And life is good, man. Shit, hell, I'm gonna top off anyway because after the camera goes off, it's still me and Jameson.
Hey, so what we usually do on this hot seat is I will put the hangout link in the chat so we can talk a little bit more. So I'll do that before we get done. Phil, you got anything else you want to say to the crew?
Man, like I always say, I love you like cook food, and I'll see you when I see you.
That's awesome, brother. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, Phil, dude, from the bottom of my heart, dude, I am so excited you're on. You were a great interview. I'll be watching this again tomorrow just to see what I missed. Awesome talk. I'm flipping excited. Real quick, for personally, again, I want to apologize to all those who were left for losing my shit on a person who made a comment. Sometimes you just can't hold it in. So we'll try not to let that happen again. That person will be banned. All right. So thanks again, Phil. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Kent, I'm glad you were able to show up. I'm glad your boy won. That's the most important. If you had lost, we would have had to dock you a day's pay. But
shit. Again?
Kris, Jay, all the moderators that are still left. Hobo, thanks for keeping me in line, and thanks for letting me do this, man. This is something I wouldn't have been able to do without you helping me out and get here. So like Phil said, you're a big part of both, communities and all that. So not to get all mushy on you because I know you hate that shit, but I do appreciate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the link for the thingy jobber doery thing.
Hangout.
The Hangout. Thank you.
You're
in
welcome.
the chat. Don't jump on until we go dark on this, but we'll sit there and chat for a little bit longer. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot. Hobo, I love you like a fat kid loves cake. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being in the hot seat with CJ, Phil, and Kent. Take care now.
Take care.